Here's a story that reveals just how deeply politics has infiltrated even our most beloved sporting events. And what happened when cameras tried to hide the truth. When Donald Trump made his grand return to the U.S. Open Tennis Championships this past Sunday, after a decade-long absence, the scene that unfolded at Flushing Meadows told a tale far more complex than what millions of television viewers were allowed to witness. The 45th president's appearance at the year's final Grand Slam tournament created a fascinating study in crowd dynamics, media manipulation, and the intersection of politics with professional sports. But here's where it gets controversial. Tournament organizers actively worked to sanitize what viewers saw on television, raising uncomfortable questions about censorship in live sports broadcasting. Trump's arrival at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center wasn't just another celebrity sighting. His presence fundamentally transformed what was already one of tennis's most prestigious events into something resembling a political rally disguised as a sporting match. The former and future president positioned himself prominently in the luxury Rolex suite, accompanied by a who's who of his incoming administration, including advisor Jared Kushner, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, Middle East Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. The crowd's reaction was nothing short of explosive. When Trump first appeared on the massive video screens at Arthur Ashe Stadium following the opening set between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, the audience erupted into a cacophony that perfectly captured America's political divide. Thunderous boos mixed with enthusiastic cheers, creating an audio landscape that momentarily drowned out everything else, including the national anthem singer when Trump was shown during the pre-match ceremonies. And this is the part most people miss. Trump seemed to relish every moment of it. Rather than shrinking from the mixed reception, he mouthed, "Thank you," to the crowd, pointed at supporters who caught his attention, and flashed grins at fans attempting to capture selfies. He acknowledged the audience multiple times throughout the match, demonstrating the showmanship that has defined his public persona for decades. However, television audiences experienced a dramatically sanitized version of events. The United States Tennis Association, which organizes the tournament, issued a memo explicitly requesting that broadcasters refrain from showcasing any disruptions or reactions in response to the president's attendance in any capacity. This directive effectively created a parallel reality for home viewers who missed the most dramatic moments of crowd interaction that defined the live experience. The security implications were staggering and revealed just how much a single individual's presence can disrupt a major sporting event. Secret Service agents in tactical vests patrolled the tennis complex hours before the match began. Additional screening procedures created airport-level security experiences, leading to massive crowd bottlenecks that forced organizers to delay the championship match by 30 minutes from its scheduled 2 p.m. start time. Even with this delay, spectators continued streaming into the stadium nearly an hour after play commenced, having been trapped in security lines that snaked through outdoor plazas. But here's what's truly fascinating. Despite sitting mere feet from the gleaming Tiffany-crafted championship trophy throughout the match, Trump was not invited to present the award to eventual winner Carlos Alcaraz. This marked a stark contrast to his recent appearance at a soccer match, where he did present trophies on the field. The deliberate exclusion speaks volumes about the complex relationship between politics and sports ceremony. The players themselves navigated this politically charged atmosphere with remarkable professionalism. When asked about competing in front of the president before the match, Alcaraz diplomatically called it a privilege to have Trump supporting the match, while adding that he would try not to let the political presence affect his concentration. After clinching victory, neither Alcaraz nor Sinner directly acknowledged Trump during their on-court celebrations, though Alcaraz notably veered away from Trump's suite area while greeting fans in the stands. This wasn't Trump's first controversial tennis appearance. His last U.S. Open visit in 2015 coincidentally during his initial presidential campaign, also generated boos during a quarter-final match featuring tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. Before entering politics, Trump had been a regular fixture at the tournament, maintaining a luxury suite for nearly 20 years before relinquishing it in 2017 during his first presidency. Trump's broader relationship with major sporting events has become a defining characteristic of his political brand. His U.S. Open appearance followed high-profile visits to UFC fights, the Super Bowl, though he notably departed at halftime, and his ongoing support of the controversial LIV Golf League, which hosts events at his Miami golf course. An upcoming appearance at the FIFA World Cup draw in December promises to continue this pattern of mixing politics with sports entertainment. The broadcast handling of Trump's presence raises profound questions about media responsibility and transparency in live sports coverage. While ESPN, which produced the broadcast for ABC, declined official comment, sources indicated they plan to cover the event normally. Yet the obvious restrictions suggest a more complex editorial decision-making process at work. What makes this story particularly compelling is how it illuminates the impossible position modern sports organizations find themselves in when political figures attend major events. Do they embrace the added attention and controversy, potentially alienating portions of their audience? Or do they attempt damage control through selective coverage, risking accusations of censorship and manipulation? The answer seems to be an uncomfortable middle ground that satisfies no one completely. Live audiences experience the full emotional spectrum of American political division. While television viewers received a carefully curated version that minimized controversy at the expense of authentic documentation, this sanitization strategy reveals something troubling about how we consume major cultural events in our hyper-polarized era. When even tennis matches require political content moderation, we must ask ourselves, are we protecting audiences from division? Or are we creating alternate realities that prevent us from confronting our actual social dynamics? The security delays, crowd reactions, and broadcast restrictions all point to a larger truth. Trump's mere presence transforms any public gathering into a political event, regardless of the original purpose. This phenomenon extends far beyond sports into every corner of American public life, creating logistical nightmares and editorial dilemmas that organizers are still learning to navigate. As we move forward into an era where political figures increasingly insert themselves into sporting events, the U.S. Open incident serves as a case study in the challenges facing event organizers, broadcasters, and audiences alike. The question isn't whether politics belongs in sports. That ship has clearly sailed. The question is how we document and discuss these intersections honestly, while still preserving the escapist joy that sports traditionally provide. So here's my controversial take. Maybe it's time we stop pretending we can separate politics from major cultural events, and instead embrace transparent coverage that shows audiences exactly what's happening, reactions and all. Isn't it more concerning when broadcasters actively hide public reactions than when they simply document reality as it unfolds? What do you think? Should major sporting events actively minimize political disruptions through selective broadcasting? Or should they document everything transparently and let audiences decide how to interpret what they see? Are we protecting the purity of sports? Or are we creating a dangerous precedent for content manipulation in live events? Share your thoughts. This debate is far from over, and your perspective matters in shaping how we handle the intersection of politics and entertainment moving forward.